What's up, everyone? Today, we've got a really cool lesson. It's a short lesson, but it's on adverbs. And I've actually put up here, as you can see, simple adverbs. And there's a whole host of other types of adverbs, but today I just want to hone in on simple adverbs. And those really are the ones, at least in English, they end with ly, right? So I'm going to teach you how to put the ly, quote unquote, on the end of these, what are adjectives. So we're going to add, in the case of Spanish, we're going to add mente, which is your equivalent of ly in English, of course, to an adjective. And I'm going to show you how to do that because there's a couple little tiny tweaks that you need to do to make it, to do it correctly, right? And so I'm going to show you really quickly how that is. And I've got really just two asterisks here to help you figure out how to go about making an adjective into an adverb. This is super fun. And so let's have a look here. The first thing I wrote was, if the adjective ends with an O, right, the letter O, drop that letter, drop the O, right, add the letter A, and then mente, right, the word mente. And like I said, that's your equivalent of ly in English. And so we're going to have, as you can see, I have 10 examples here. We're going to walk through all of them, and you're going to see how that's done. And so, like I said, if the adjective, right, and these are all adjectives currently, I have adjectives written up there, right? They modify a noun, right? And so, as you can see, there's adjectives here. And if the adjective, any one of these, for example, ends with the letter O, right? And we could just even walk through and highlight those that do end with the letter O. So those are the ones that I'm talking about in this example. If it ends with the letter O, we would drop that letter, we would drop the O, add the letter A, and then mente, right? And so I want to move on here to the next one, right, which says if the adjective ends with any other vowel, or a consonant, of course, right, just add mente, right? So if it doesn't end with the letter O, and it ends with another vowel, for example, the letter E, right, and again, we can go through and highlight those, the letter E, we would just add mente. If it ends with a consonant, of course, let's find one of those, like the letter L here, that's a consonant. You would just add mente to that as well. The other thing I want to maybe do a little asterisk here, and I'm just going to write accent, right? So if it has an accent, leave it. If it doesn't, don't give it one. And so in the case of rápido, or difícil, or fácil, right? There aren't any on that side. So on this side, those that have an accent, when we add mente to it, when we make it an adverb, let's say, we just leave the accent. It stays there. And so let's go ahead and walk through these. Of course, as always, if you want to hit pause, try them out yourself, then you can come back and we'll be working over here on these, changing these adjectives into adverbs. And so, but again, as always, we're going to keep moving along. So let's have a look here at number one. Number one is lento. Lento means slow, right? So as I said, it's got an O, so we drop the O, right? We add the letter A, right? That's what our rule said. And then we add mente. So we have lentamente. So that goes from slow as an adjective to slowly as an adverb. Right? And so that's how that happens. Let's have a look at this number two. I put this asterisk here only to remind me that I need to talk about the accents. And so I already did that. But, so rápido, again, just to reiterate, does have an accent. So when we make it an adverb, it will keep its accent. And so, as I said, I underlined this here earlier. It has an O. So rápido, we drop the letter O, right? Keep our accent. If it has an O, as it says, we add an A, and then, of course, mente. So this goes from quick, right, or rapid, to quickly or rapidly, right? So rápidamente. So it goes from rápido to rápidamente, quickly, right? And so moving along to number three, we have elegante. doesn't end with an O, rather, it ends with the letter E, right? Still a vowel, but as our rules say here, doesn't matter. We just effectively add mente. So I'm actually going to erase this and just go about it like this. So elegante, or as you may imagine, it's a cognate, so elegant becomes elegantly, right? So elegante becomes elegantemente, right? Elegantemente. We don't have to change this to an A because, as we have here, any other vowel other than O stays as is. Good. And so let's go here to number 4. Here's one with a consonant, and so let's see what we do about that. Our rule says don't do anything except add mente. So I'm going to erase that, and we're going to add mente. So we have difícilmente. So we go from difícil, difficult, to difficultly, right? Difícilmente, right? Difícilmente, right? And again, notice this consonant just stays there, and we add mente. Same thing's going to happen here for fácil, which is easy, right? So it would be easily is what we're saying. So we just say fácilmente, right? I don't know why I put a period there. So let's move on over to number 6. These are fun because they're a little bit longer, actually, particularly this one. And so again, we have this first list of 5. Let's check out our last set over here. And so we have afortunado. Afortunado means fortunate. Afortunado means fortunate as an adjective. We drop the O, we add A, right? And then we add mente. So we have afortunadamente. Afortunadamente becomes fortunately, right? Again, this is our ly, right? And so we get fortunately. Now I put this one on here because now you have a prefix. We moved from fortunate to unfortunate by putting that des in the front. And so we have desafortunado, so unfortunate as an adjective, and now we want to say unfortunately. So we're going to erase this. We're going to get rid of our O. We know we got to do that. We're going to add an A, and then we add mente, right? You got it by now, I'm sure. So we have desafortunadamente. Say that on your own. That one's a fun one. So desafortunadamente. And again, this is our ly, and this becomes unfortunately, right? So we took an adjective, the adjective desafortunado, moved it or made it an adverb, desafortunadamente. We have constante, right, which means constant, and now we're going to just say constantly. And so if you said, dude, all you do is add mente, well, you were right. And so it becomes constantemente, constantemente, so constantly. All right, same is going to go for here. Number 9, breve, right, which means brief. So we want to say briefly, right? And so we do brevemente, right? Brevemente. There's no O there. It is a vowel, but it's not an O, right? And so we just leave it as is and add mente. And then the last one, honesto. Honesto, that means honest, right? And so we want to go from honest as an adjective to honestly as an adverb, right? And again, it has an O, so we drop the O, we swap it out for an A, and then we add mente. So we go from honesto to honestamente, right? And so really that is how we deal with, as I have up here, simple adverbs, right? It's how we take adjectives, for example, and turn them into adverbs, right? And that's really doing, as I said at the top of the lesson, it's just changing it to an ly, right? That's your English equivalent, I should say. And so we're taking these adjectives, making them adverbs, and again, it's if it has an O, drop the O, give it an A, and add mente. Everything else, just add mente. So hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully now you're able to take some adjectives that you really like and make adverbs out of them. So hope you enjoyed the lesson, and adios.